I'm here with Kurtis Wiebe. How you doing?
Doing good, man. How you doing?
Good, good. So you're coming off very recently an iFanboy Pick of the Week with PETER PANZERFAUST.
I really appreciated that, guys. Yeah, it was really exciting, and the coverage you guys did, that's where everybody heard about it, I think, because everyone up until like that day where it was like, whoa, what is this about? And your coverage just brought everybody's eyes to it. So
yeah, I was laughing. It was like PETER PANZERFAUST week on our site.
It was. We got a lot of coverage on you guys' site, so it was awesome.
So for those who hadn't heard of the book, what is the premise? How did you come up with it?
The premise is it's the Peter Pan story or mythology retold in World War II. So we're taking the characters and we're taking some of the snippets of the story and reimagining them for a World War II setting. So it's about Peter and the Lost Boys getting caught up in the German invasion of France.
Right.
We came up with the idea. Tyler is the illustrator on it, and we came up with the idea about 3 or 4 years ago, and it was just an email session we were having back and forth. We were talking about different projects we wanted to work on, and he was watching Apocalypse Now at the time, and he's like, "Oh, we should do something with like the Lost Boys in Vietnam." And I was like, that is dumb. That is the stupidest thing I've heard. And then I started thinking about it, like, oh, but World War II would be cool. So anyway, we developed it from there. It was just a brainstorming session, and so it's been in development for about 4 years between us. So
it's got to be pretty good to see it in print and see it actually out there.
Yeah, and you know, it's always this thing when your new book comes out. You're always like, is anyone going to care? Is it going to catch on? Are people going to be excited about it? And so we were already excited about it, and we had seen the first issue a few months ago, and we were really excited. And then with all the reception and people just loving the ideas, it's just been an amazing few weeks for this book. So yeah, it's awesome.
So in terms of the visual look, when you're working with Tyler, like there's a lot of like memorable pages, like that first shot of seeing Peter and then the jump. Like was that all? Like did you give direction to Tyler, or how did you guys flesh out the look of it?
Well, I mean, yeah, that was all those kind of one-page splashes where we really nailed home the point. Those are all in the script, but we worked together on kind of the look of Peter. I mean, Tyler did all the design, but that page in particular, he had actually done a mock-up of it, and it's interesting because in the first rendition he did of it, it was just a minor facial quirk, like he'd drawn it a little bit differently, and he looked like kind of a jerk, he's like there's a difference between kind of like this charm and the kind of carefree charm and being kind of a dick, so I'm like, just make him a little bit more carefree. Can you do that? And I didn't even know as an illustrator how you do that, oh yeah, okay, more carefree. But he came back with that second drawing, and I'm like, oh, this is it. That is the image that everyone's going to love. And it is. That's what sold the book to Jim at Shadowline. And that is pretty much the page that everyone says, that's why I picked it up. Yeah. So, yeah.
So what's the future of the book? I know you've got a grand plan for it, right?
Yeah, we've got a huge plan. I mean, the big part of the story, every issue opens up with an interview. And the first 5 issues is what we've kind of been given at this point. But, if it keeps selling as well as it is, we will get our full 30-issue run. That is the plan. Right. But every 5 arcs, or 5 issues, we basically plan to have a new interview, a person that this mysterious man is interviewing, and they're going to bring their own perspective to the story and change it a little bit. Some people have been asking, can Peter actually fly, or is it, is there supernatural elements? Well, we're going to leave that a little bit up to the reader, and they're going to see the story through the eyes of the person that experienced it.
Cool, very cool. So you're also into year 1 of Green Wake, right? Last year when all the color books came out at Image, it was bluest day green.
Yeah, that was really weird. It was the zeitgeist of color. So we're wrapping that up. Issue 10 comes out this upcoming Wednesday, and we have a few extra pages because it ended a bit early. Riley and I made the decision to end it at 10 because it just wasn't selling well enough, truthfully. So we got I think there's an extra 6 pages of art and story in this issue. We wrap everything up, and for those people that have followed the series and feel like I still want to know more, on Wednesday on my blog, Kurtis Wiebe at WordPress.com, they can check out. I will be posting the entire mythology, everything about Green Wake. So if you want to know, you don't want to interpret it for yourself, you want everything fed to you, I'll do that for you.
Very cool. and working with Riley has been great. I mean, and you guys are going to probably work together again in the future?
Yeah. Riley and I, we lived in the same town when we were doing Green Wake. He has moved away since, but it was a great opportunity for us to work together, and it was an awesome collaborative experience. So when we ended Green Wake, we were like, you know what, we want to work together again, and we want to do something a bit different, maybe a little bit lighthearted, outside of what we've done before. And so we came up with this concept, and it's going to be announced here this weekend. It's called Debris, and it's basically like a Red Sonja style story in a kind of post-apocalyptic Miyazaki dystopian future, and it's about basically she's fighting giant transformers. But I mean that's the log line, but it's a little bit more complicated than that. But it's a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to it.
Cool, and that comes out this summer, right?
Yeah, in July.
Excellent. Yeah. And then you've also got Grim Leaper coming out, right? What's that? What's the premise of that one?
Grim Leaper is the really quick sell.
Yeah.
It's a gory love story.
Sure.
So the concept is it's about this guy named Luke Collins who has this really ridiculous curse that he dies in really disgustingly over-the-top fashion, but then he wakes up in the body of a stranger, and this keeps happening to him. And we come into the story where it's been happening to him for a while. He has no idea why it's happening, but he's just kind of living life and dying and coming back and this new experience. And he meets a woman who has the exact same curse, and they start dating.
Cool.
So that's the premise.
Nice. Is it a mini ongoing or?
Yeah, it's a 4-issue mini, and we're actually doing something really awesome. I have a really great stable of friends that are really creative and really talented. And what we're going to do in every issue, we are going to have a 5-page backup story, and it's going to be called More Love Stories to Die For, and they're all really twisted love stories that we're going to have. So you're going to get a lot of content. You're going to get the full 22 pages of my story, and then another 5 of a bunch of different creators that I'll announce that later on as they come out. But really, really awesome stuff.
Cool. So you're super busy, man. You're just making comics, right?
I'm making a lot of comics. I have the time now. I quit my day job. I'm doing this full time, so it's going really well. And yeah, it's exciting. I have a lot to do when I get back after this trip. So.